Hi, my name is Madeline Duncan, and today I've researched John Watson. So John Broadus Watson was born on January 19th in 1878 to Emma and Pickens Watson, who were farmers. Some sources say they were poor farmers, some say they were well off, but anyway. As a child, he was known as a lazy and insubordinate student who wasn't very good at schooling, but somehow he made it and graduated. When he graduated, he went to the University of Greenville in South Carolina, where he's from, and he got his bachelor's and master's from that university. He went on to get his PhD at the University of Chicago, and his career is very impressive, but it lasted only less than 20 years. He went to World War II as a psychologist. He was on the Committee of Classification of Personnel in the Army and on the Signal and Aviation Medical Corps. He was transferred to the General's staff for military intelligence training, but he said that they did it to kill him off, which was kind of weird. So he was the youngest elected president of the American Psychologist Association, which is kind of impressive. He also edited two journals, one of which he was the founder of. He was known after he came back from World War II to do experimental research on infants. One of the most famous case studies is the case study of little Albert, which John Watson was responsible for. He did these research at Johns Hopkins. There was kind of a scandal when he got romantically involved with his research assistant Rosalie Rayner, and he was fired. But he never lost his love of psychology. He still wrote articles in journals and did lectures at the Cooper Institute. But he went on to do advertising. His major contribution was in the area of behaviorism. The popular theory of the day was introspection, which all relied on inner thought processes and changing the way you think to help yourself, I guess. So if there was any disorder, you just kind of have to think differently. John Watson obviously didn't agree with this, and that's how the idea of behaviorism came about. Behaviorism is all based on conditioning and reward and punishment. So conditioning is kind of like the idea that they use with Pavlov's dogs. So what you would do is you would change their behavior by training their brain to think a different way rather than just straight thought processes. And this kind of replaced that the theory that you can think problems away. Watson believed you can actually change them by offering rewards and punishments. He studied a lot on innate behavior versus learned behavior. Innate behavior is things that you're just born with, behaviors you already have. So as an infant, you cry innately, you breathe. All those behaviors are learned, where some of them are, or those behaviors are innate. I'm sorry. While some of them are learned. Through his study with little Albert, he conditioned Albert, who was an infant, to be afraid of furry objects. So what he would do is he'd present little Albert with a rabbit or a stuffed animal, and then he'd create a loud noise which would upset Albert. And so anytime he saw a furry object from then on, he would automatically start crying because he would expect the loud noise. So that's an example of conditioning. Through that study with little Albert, he found, and other various infants, he found that there are three emotional responses that a child is born with: fear, rage, and love. And he realized through the experiments with Albert that you can shape those to change the behavior and the personality of infants. He went on to write a famous parenting book. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it was published in 1928. And so he created a parenting style. He made it more of a profession than just something that you just kind of did because you had a kid. It was all based off of conditioning, and so if you raised your child the way that Watson said you should, they would be completely self-sufficient. There would be no crying unless they were hurt physically. They would pretty much be emotionless and very logical children, which doesn't really sound much like children, but I guess through conditioning, if you did the way that Watson said you could, that's how your child would turn out. So this impacts education quite a lot. It's said that behaviorism is shown in education in the skill and drill. So you would teach a child a skill and then test them on it. And as you can see in education, that's the major theory that happens today. It's seen through standardized testing, and getting good grades and getting verbal praise. So if a child will learn something in class, say like math or how to do multiplication, they'll be tested on that. And that's kind of like conditioning in a way. Me personally, it's impacted me that's kind of how my parents have raised us, through a lot of conditioning, rewards, punishments. If we did something wrong, we were punished for it. We were grounded or spanked or things like that. Kind of a funny example is when we were raising our dog from a puppy, we conditioned her to ring a bell when she wanted to go out. So when she's first a puppy and she learned to go to the back door if she needed to use the bathroom, we would have her sit and give her a treat and ring the bell and say, okay, go potty. And from that, she learned that anytime she rung the bell, we were going to open the door for her. So it's just little examples like that where behaviorism is very applicable. I really enjoyed learning about Watson. His life and his studies were quite fascinating, and I think that he made a huge impact on education and parenting. One that was probably, I don't think was very expected, but it definitely still affects many people's lives today. Thank you.